What's up, guys? It's Bayern Ridder. I'm your host, Ridder, and let's get right into it. So, what a game today. Honestly, really exciting to watch. I really enjoy watching Bundesliga, man. It's a really exciting league. I said in my pre-match prediction that a lot of these smaller Bundesliga teams honestly give Bayern Munich a run for their money. And one of the ESPN commentators said after the game that this is the kind of game where the league is won. And I completely agree with that, because it's not Bayern Munich beating Dortmund or RB Leipzig or Mönchengladbach, the bigger teams. It's the nitty-gritty games where you just pull out that something extra, where you just hit that other gear like Serge Gnabry did today to give us the 3 points. So really exciting game to watch. As a neutral, I'm sure people enjoyed it more than I did when we conceded that second goal. I was pretty frustrated, as you can imagine. But yeah, let's talk about it. So I was really glad to see Neuer starting today. I heard that he was going to be injured. I think that was the general consensus, that he was going to be out for the game and Ulreich was going to be in. But it was good to see our captain back in between the posts. So that was good to see. Also, younger guys like Nianzou got some playing time today, as well as Musiala and Stanisic. So that's always great to see, man. So yeah, we started out with a 3 at the back. I think it was kind of like a 3-5-2. We had two, I guess, kind of wingbacks. It was kind of strange to me that Sané was on the right-hand side, and he's not a wingback at all. Gnabry was on the left, with Davies overlapping as kind of the left wing-back position. So we didn't really, it seemed like we didn't actually really have a right wing-back. It was almost like we were moving to a back three when Davies pushed forward. And then when we came back, it was almost like Davies was just expected to come all the way back to make more of a back four, with kind of the three center backs shifting over to the right. But guys like Müller, Kimmich, and Gnabry were all kind of covering with Sané back on the right-hand side. So defensively, it was kind of shaky. To me, it wasn't super organized, it seemed like. Offensively, it was kind of the same way. We would attack, and kind of guys almost didn't seem to have that cohesion there. But at least we played with good energy, I thought, except for Sané. Everyone played with good energy, and yeah, stuff like that can be expected. Playing with a new formation, with a new coach, you can expect to kind of run into some kind of growing pains and trying to learn the new system. So don't blame him at all for being a little bit disorganized. I thought we should have scored, but yeah, good energy in the first half. Second half, Nagelsmann switches it up, goes to the 4 in the back, 4-2-3-1, I think it was. And we almost immediately score. Musiala, sick today, absolutely sick. Gnabry was sick today as well. But I think the tactical switch in the second half to move to the 4 in the back was definitely the right decision. And yeah, we'll see what happens with the different formations in the future. Maybe we'll get the hang of it. The goals we conceded today were pretty frustrating. 2 balls in from the wide flanks, crossing in. Both were great crosses. Just frustrating ways to score, to be honest. I feel like we should be more disciplined than that. And I'll get into the player ratings in a second, but it's just kind of frustrating to leave these gaps in our defense. I really would like us to be a strong defensive team and have a lot of clean sheets this year. And really kind of, I want to instill that kind of fear, when a team is like, man, they got a good defense, and if they get ahead, you're in trouble. Like, that's what I want to be like. It is nice to just be like, we'll freaking just outscore you like we did in 2020. Just, okay, you want to score the first goal, Tottenham? We're going to score, 7 goals this game, and just, it doesn't matter how many goals you score, we're going to score more. It's kind of entertaining, but I do want us to be more defensively solid, more put together, more cohesive in the back. So I have no doubt we'll get there in the future. Again, this is only the third game Nagelsmann's been in charge, so definitely part of the process. Trust the process. Moving on to player ratings. I'm going to try and keep this short today. So first, we'll start out with Lewandowski. Lewandowski, solid game today. He was where he needed to be, got his goal. 8.5 rating for me. Solid game from Lewandowski. Müller had a solid game as well. Got a little kind of half assist, I guess. You could probably give him the assist for the one that bounced off the defender to Gnabry for his first goal. Solid game from Müller. 8 from me. Sané. Leroy, darling. You're letting me down, man. I really believe in him. That's the thing. I honestly, dude, this keeps happening in my videos, man. I'm trying to get this nice background on my Xbox. I really believe in Sané, man. Unfortunately, he is just taking his sweet time getting into gear. And it's not all his fault. It takes time for these young players to switch. He's coming from a different league. We paid a lot of money for him, so there's obviously going to be a lot of pressure on a young guy like that. But I just know he can play with more kind of, I just want to see that. I just want to see a little fire in him, give him a little spark, you know what I'm saying? He just kind of seems a little bit like almost just lazy or afraid to commit or something like that. It's just a little bit strange watching him, man, because I know he can be so electric, and I've seen it. So I'm waiting for that to become more present in his game. Today, he played quite bad, in my opinion. It was the right decision subbing him off at halftime, so I'm going to give him a 6. Gnabry, man of the match, Serge Gnabry. Solid game from him. 2 great goals. The first goal was not as easy as it looks. It was not as simple as a tap-in, man. It just bounced off the defender. It's coming up kind of at knee height. It's kind of an awkward place to hit it, especially with his weak foot. So he did good to even get the first goal. Second goal was a rocket. Just an absolute bullet. Screamer into the top corner. So, yeah, a solid game from him. I'm going to give him a 9. Moving on to Gretzka. Gretzka, man, did his job. Wasn't bad at all. Just didn't do anything spectacular again. I'm going to give him a 7.5. Moving on to Kimmich. Kimmich had a great game, in my opinion. He had a lot of balls in kind of behind the defense, a lot of good passes, a lot of good times where he was under kind of intense pressure and maintained possession of the ball, as I've come to pretty much expect him to do. So, solid 8.5 from Joshua Kimmich. Moving on to Davies. I thought Davies was great as well. Just, doing what he always does with his overlapping runs. It's great to see him back in form, and I think he's only going to get better, man. He's been really good the past couple games for me. So today I'm going to give him a 8. Moving on to Nianzou. Nianzou, man, I thought he played really bad today, to be honest. Not horrible. It's not like he's scoring own goals or something like that. I just felt like he was giving the ball away too easily, especially for a center back, man. You got to be more composed if you're going to play for this Bayern Munich team. We play a lot in possession with the ball, so it's important that our players be comfortable on the ball, and he did not look comfortable on the ball. He didn't look confident today. So I'm going to give him a 6. Moving on to Sula. Sula had a good game today. I pretty much blame him for the first goal. To be honest, it was a great cross. Look, don't get me wrong. It was a great cross by Hector. However, I felt like Sula shouldn't have even been that far to the near post in the first place. I don't know if he was just caught ball watching, but he just kind of drifted away from his defender. There was just way too big of a gap in between Sula and Davies. And whether Davies or Neuer were communicating that to him or not, I don't know. Maybe it's not all his fault that he didn't know that he was drifting so far away from him. He obviously doesn't have eyes in the back of his head. However, I think he was definitely out of position. So, but other than that, great game from him. He had a couple good looks offensively, even with that shot. Man, that little Maradona and a little volley shot, looking like something amazing up there could have happened if it wasn't for the good goalkeeping of Timo Horn. So, solid game from him. I'm going to give him a 7.5. Moving on to Upamecano. Kind of a similar situation to Sula. Played a good game, but I do kind of think that he was a little bit lackadaisical on the second goal that they scored. Just kind of leaving the guy. He's trying to play a strict line, which is probably what's been instructed to him by Nagelsmann. However, I felt like if the winger's dribbling down the wing and you have a striker in front of you as a center back, you probably want to get goal side of him. Even if the winger's, way behind and this is, leaving the attacker onside, the winger has the ability to potentially put on a burst of pace and get in front of the attacker that's right in front of you. So I just think he should have probably played a little bit safer, and he kind of switched off for me. I never really like to see a player not hustle and then just throw his hand up and call for the offside. It's like, play to the whistle, play as if he's onside. I don't know. It was a little bit disappointing to me to see. It would have been a lot more disappointing if Serge Gnabry didn't bury that volley. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to give Upamecano a 7.5. Moving on to Manuel Neuer. Manuel Neuer couldn't have done anything about the 2 goals, in my opinion, at all. He had some good sweeping, keeping moments and pretty commanding in the back other than the 2 goals. Like I said, not much that I think he could have done about the 2 goals. So I'm going to give him a 7.5. Moving on to the substitutes. I'm going to start with Stanisic. Stanisic came on when we moved to the 4 in the back system and played quite well, in my opinion. It was his best game yet, and he didn't even play the whole game. So I'm excited to see what he can bring in the future. Man, he's an exciting player to watch for our right flank. We've been kind of hurting there lately. It's good to see one of the young players kind of take the reins and really play with a lot of heart there. And I thought he played better than he has in the past couple games. So it's good to see him. I'm glad he's impressing me. I want to see him do very well. So I'm going to give him a 8 today. Yes, very, very good game from him. Moving on to Tolisso. Tolisso, man, I feel like sometimes I'm harsh on Tolisso, man, but he just did not do anything. He didn't do anything for me today to impress me. Not a bad performance. Didn't do anything crazy bad. He's just kind of there. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm being too harsh. He's very seldom impressed me throughout the time that he's been at Bayern Munich. I don't really think he offers enough either side of the ball to keep him at the club. But who knows? Maybe he'll step his game up with a new coach and find a new spark. So we'll see. Hopefully, that would be great to see. Moving on to Mussiala. Mussiala. If it wasn't for Serge Gnabry, I would have been given Mussiala the Man of the Match award. Holy crap, what a game from Mussiala. He had defenders on skates today, man. He is so electric. He plays with he has such a spark to him. It's so great to see. Such like a youthful kind of fearlessness to him. I cannot wait to see what this guy does in the future, man. He's such a young, exciting player for our team. I'm so glad he chose Germany as well. Just such an exciting player. I'm going to give him a 9. Great game from Mussiala. He made more of an impact in the first 5-6 minutes that he came on than Sané did in the entire first half, which is awesome, but also kind of sad because, Sané. But, I remain optimistic. I think we got a good squad here with some good depth now with the youthful players kind of taking more responsibility. So, yeah, I'm excited for this season. Nagelsmann, I'm going to give him an 8. Good tactical adjustment to switch to the 4 in the back. I think he could tell that our players weren't kind of meshing with the current formation in the beginning and in the first half. I felt like they just weren't, like I said, weren't cohesive enough. So as soon as we switched formation, I saw kind of some familiarity in the way that we were moving, and it seemed like the players also resonated with that and were able to create more chances and kind of be more stable. So that was good to see. Good game from Nagelsmann. I don't think it was any tactical fault that we conceded the 2 goals. Just would have liked to see a little bit more individual awareness from our center backs. So hopefully they learned from that. And I think that's all for today. Guys, if you liked what you saw today, definitely hang out, stick around, man, like and subscribe. I'm going to be doing lots of Bayern Munich content in the future. I want to be doing some live streams, some live match watch-alongs, some career modes, some Bayern Munich career modes on FIFA. Pro Clubs streams. I would be pretty sick to play some Pro Clubs with fellow Bayern Munich fans. I really want to create a community around Bayern Munich and yeah, just around football in general, man. So yeah, if you like what you saw, definitely hang out. And yep, that's it for today. So see you next time. Take it easy.